Sup, y'all. See, share. Sup, y'all. See, share. Sup, y'all. We'll talk about this Aaron Rodgers situation in a second. Just sharing things. Appreciate everybody joining in. We'll talk about this Aaron Rodgers situation in a second. Just sharing things. Appreciate everybody joining in. How y'all doing today? Feel free to comment questions in sports. And I'm happy you guys are joining in. Appreciate that. But we are definitely starting with Aaron Rodgers and this contract situation. So, Aaron Rodgers, he's expected to be back next season. First, want to thank Socks. Go visit them. It's going to be in the description below for customized socks. What's up? I see you guys in the comments. Also, gotskillspro.com for handyman assembly services in the Atlanta area. Visit gotskillspro.com. And your future media for all media purposes. Visit your future media. Aaron Rodgers back with the Packers. I'm not shocked. This is not shocking. You got a guy who won the MVP. All of the big time numbers he's put up. Who are you going to replace him with? That's the question. What was the alternative? There's not a lot of elite quarterbacks in this league. There's not. There's not a lot of consistent playing quarterbacks. And that's why probably Aaron Rodgers may feel a little bit arrogant and he holds all the cards. And you see him really add to the frustration and not really downplay things. But at the same time, where's the respect level? 30 other teams would love to have Aaron Rodgers. There might be 2 or 3 quarterbacks. Maybe you could say you want over him. I understand that they drafted a quarterback, but at the same time, he's coming off that MVP-like season. And that's one thing I like about Aaron Rodgers. And I could sit here and say, I think Aaron Rodgers is a quarterback that could play into his mid-40s because you could see that chip he carries on his shoulder, his willingness to put his team on his back. Even though him and LaFleur, to me, they didn't end up finishing the job, at the end of the day, he's the best option. So I think it's great to see, especially if you're a Packers fan, see Aaron Rodgers back with the Pack. I still don't think next year will be his last season. I think they negotiate again. I know the details didn't come out, but I don't view Aaron Rodgers as a player who's not going to retire a Packer. And I think Aaron Rodgers, he has a lot of football left. If he stays healthy, he could play as much football as he wants, in my opinion, because it doesn't look like he's slowing down. 3-time MVP, Super Bowl winning MVP. What else can you say about him? I just look at him as a player that it's a no-brainer. The Packers had to fold, even if they don't like his attitude or feel like, okay, let's move on before it's too late. This isn't one of those situations. Joe Burrow, he's going to be out for the preseason. That's a good move. The rehab, everything looks great. This is a Bengals team that, to me, I think they should have went offensive line in the first round. But this is also a team that hopefully gets more balanced. And they're not having Joe Burrow step back in the pocket, throw 30, 40, throw 40, 50, 60 times a game. That shouldn't happen. And that's my problem with teams in the NFL is they sit back, even though it is a quarterback league, it's a passing league. That's what people pay to see. They sit back, they throw the ball a bunch of times a game. Then they wonder why the quarterback's getting hit so much. The offensive line isn't that great in Cincinnati. So hopefully they learn to be more balanced. I look at a quarterback like Joe Burrow. I don't know if he's going to be a star. It's hard to tell with these quarterbacks because outside of like maybe 5 to 10, everybody else is iffy. 1 year they're great. Next year they're not. Next season they do better. that they don't get credit, the team isn't good. That happens all the time. It's just like the debate, Kirk Cousins. He's an interesting quarterback because I got people I talk to who'll sit there and say, yo, Kirk Cousins is underrated. Kirk Cousins is the man. And I got other people at my barbershop, people I talk to, people in media. Kirk Cousins is overrated. Kirk Cousins needs to get his teams to the playoffs. I feel like this is a playoff season, hopefully, for a quarterback like Kirk Cousins. And hopefully the defense, they bring their A game. They continue to get that running game from Cook. But these quarterbacks, back to the point, these quarterbacks, they're so iffy. So it's like you have to protect them. You have to protect these quarterbacks. Matthew Stafford, want to bring him up next. He's a quarterback that, look, it's championship or bust. It's championship or bust when it comes to the Rams. The Rams are a team that can't lose. They after making the move they made, they're basically saying Matthew Stafford would be or is a Hall of Fame caliber quarterback. He just didn't have the right organization around him. You've seen flashes, year 3, I believe it was, where he went off and threw all those touchdown passes. I believe it was about 50 of them. But to me, we haven't seen him be consistent. I'm just saying, when you look at this Rams team, and I know they lost their running back, unfortunately, great at the wide receiver position. Shoot, you got Woods to throw to, Kupp to throw to. I think Jackson's going to give him a spark. Hopefully he could stay healthy. I still think he's a big deep threat option with a veteran quarterback like Stafford. The defense, the number 1 defense in the league last year. Arguably, they have the best tandem at cornerback. Okay? So Stafford won't have to be perfect. He won't have to feel like he has to put his team on his back. However, when I look at Les Snead, when I look at Sean McVay, their behinds are on the line. This isn't one of those teams that could go 11-6 and be out in the first round. They have to make a deep playoff run. Okay? This isn't one of those seasons where, just playoffs is okay. It's championship or bust for them. Brett Favre didn't retire a Packer. Yeah, he didn't. I think Aaron Rodgers is a better quarterback. I think Aaron Rodgers is more consistent. He clearly doesn't turn the ball over as much. I think Aaron Rodgers, they got to get that relationship right, but he should definitely retire a Packer. If you're a Packers fan, if you're in the Packers organization, that's how you have to view it. He needs to retire a Packer. Okay, let's talk about the Atlanta Hawks. There's rumors about Bradley Beal being traded to the Hawks and the Hawks basically blowing this team up. I don't think it's a good idea for a couple of reasons. Number one, what's so bad about this core? I like this core of the Hawks team. The Hawks overachieved this year. Remember, they went from not being a playoff team to firing Lloyd Pierce to becoming that playoff team. What's not to like about them? I don't get it. They overachieved. Trae Young, he's shown you guys growth. Oh, he shoots too much. He doesn't pass the ball enough, even though that season he nearly had 10 assists. And then you move into this season, points per game are down. He's moving the ball around. Injuries everywhere. And they're still able to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. Which, look, I'm not going to sit here and say, okay, well, the Hawks will be in the championship next year. I'm just saying, look at the sample size. Look at the work. Look at the work. Now, you go ahead and you trade for a Bradley Beal. I think what happens next is the whole dynamic changes. I think in this situation, you look at a player the caliber of John Collins. You look at a player caliber of Trae Young. You look at guys like Cam Reddish, who, if he's healthy, he's guarding 1 through 4 at the least. If he can get his shot consistent, which there were some flashes in Game 6 where he scored 22 points, had a really good game. And again, health is going to be a big part of it. You could see him developing. Hunter. If Hunter could stay healthy, you could see him developing. These teams, they try to make these trades for these stars, and I get it's a stars league, but that chemistry matters, especially with a young team like this. I think Bogey we saw how his relationship with Trae Young, it just continued to grow. I think they need to continue to grow that. Now, if you want to bring up, well, John Collins, he didn't show up later in games. What's going on? Look, John Collins, there's times I felt like, okay, John Collins could be a max player. A lot of times he disappears, but John Collins probably is worth about 90 to $100 million. But I don't view him as a max player. But it seems like his agent views him as a max player. He's going to try to get that max money. So what's somebody going to sit here and sell him or his agent? So seeing the information we see right now, I don't know what they're going to settle on. But I feel like if you're this Hawks team, you take this stable of young players and continue to grow with it. Add a couple pieces. There's people talking about, okay, what can they do in the draft? I think the draft is more important for them than making a big splash for a trade. Like Ben Simmons, even though Ben Simmons coming to Atlanta would be better than Bradley Beal coming to Atlanta, I still don't think you make that move happen. That's a move we don't need to see that move. But we'll see how things play out. I do think this Hawks team clearly will be back in the playoffs. They'll be one of the contenders in the Eastern Conference. You got the Nets, obviously going to be above them if they can stay healthy. The Bucks, but they'll be right there with the Sixers. We don't know what the Sixers are going to do. We all know what the Sixers are going to do. The Knicks will be there, but I got them slightly above the Knicks. But this Hawks team, and their fan base, they should be excited about what Nate McMillan continues to bring to the table as Trae Young continues to develop his game. And to me, what was interesting is first time them getting into the playoffs, many people had the Knicks getting past them. They defeat them. They're winning on their home court. They're winning road games, closing out on defense. Trae Young is making the smart plays. That was impressive. Then they play the Sixers, doing what they were able to do to the Sixers, winning road games, on the road, dominating. Ben Simmons not showing up, being able at times to say, hey, okay, Embiid is going to beat us, but nobody else will. This Hawks team is tough. Mentally, they're there. They got it. This team is mentally tough. And what proved that to me, not just the energy they played with at home, but the energy when they go play on the road. A lot of teams, they lose that energy when they go play on the road. Not this Hawks team. This Hawks team delivered. I'm Jansen Harris here with the final play on the Just Good Network. Another shout out to Your Future Media. For all media purposes, visit Your Future Media, GotSkillsPro.com for handyman and assembly furniture work in the Atlanta area. Visit GotSkillsPro.com. And Socks for customized socks is going to be in the description. A link to the Instagram page. You guys make sure you get some swagged out customized socks. Want to bring this last point up before I end the broadcast. Want to talk about the WBO, and I thank you guys for doing this. Basically mandating. This is a mandate. So if Terrence Crawford, he doesn't want to defend, which he came out and said, hey, this is what I want. These guys are ducking me. It's weird because they're friends, Sean Porter and him, but little jabs are going back and forth. Whatever. But the WBO has made it clear that Terrence Crawford and Sean Porter must fight. This is going to be huge for Crawford. He needs this fight. He needs a fight that's going to sell, and this is what the fight's going to be. It's going to be an action-packed fight. Sean Porter fights everybody. Sean Porter fights he even thought he was going to get Pacquiao one time if you listen to his podcast. And if you're Crawford, you need this fight. I don't know. I don't know, and I don't feel like Bob Arum is really pushing Crawford as he should. He's not. The marketing isn't there for Crawford right now. I don't get how they didn't make the Manny Pacquiao fight happen back in 2014 or 2013 or 2015. I don't get it when they were part of the same stable at Top Rank. But that's neither here or there. Spence is getting that fight. But I think when we look at Crawford against Porter, if Crawford defeats Porter and you see Errol Spence Jr. defeat Manny Pacquiao, which I don't think is going to be a cakewalk like some people think. I don't think Spence is just going to run over Pacquiao. I think Pacquiao's still dangerous. He's still fast. He has the experience. He's been in huge, big fights like this. It's a huge fight. Remember, guys get nervous in the spotlight. Guys get nervous. Guys under pressure, it's different. Not saying Errol Spence can't handle pressure. What I'm saying is this. Errol has never fought on that level. All the fans around, many Pacquiao fights are different. I still have him as a favorite, but that's a dangerous fight. But he gets past him, Errol Spence Jr. He needs to talk to Al Heyman, Bob Arum got to get together and make that fight happen. That's another big fight. But back to Crawford. If you don't get Porter, then I think you move down, you fight Josh Taylor if he's willing to fight you, or if he wants to come up. I don't know the details of that. I'm just going to assume he has to go down to fight him just because he just won the championship, or they meet at a catch weight. Let's say that, a catch weight. I think that'd be fair because Taylor's not, I don't think he wants to just move up to welterweight, even though Crawford is the slightly bigger name in the United States. I don't know about England, but maybe that's a catchweight fight. I don't know how they're going to negotiate that, but it's Josh Taylor. So I think Crawford, he needs to really push for this Porter fight, and I think it's going to happen. So after that fight happens, he sees Spence Jr. I'm Jansen Harris here with the final play on the Just Good Network, just going over the topics. We talked about Rodgers. We talked about Stafford. We talked about Burrow. We talked about Bradley Beal and him potentially going to the Atlanta Hawks, which I don't think that's going to be a good move at all. And we talked about the WBO stepping up and trying to force these guys to get in the ring together. Porter Crawford, which is going to be a heck of a pay-per-view for all boxing fans out there and even some casual fans. But for hardcore ones, I know they're going to love that fight. I'm Jansen Harris again with the final play on the Just Good Network. Again, socks, customized socks. The description is going to be on Instagram. Click on the page, get yourself some socks, great quality socks. I wish I could show you right now. I got them on right now. Great things. Also, Your Future Media. For all media purposes, visit Your Future Media. What up in the comments? And GotSkillsPro.com. Visit them for handyman assembly work. Go to GotSkills.com in the Atlanta area. Peace out. Share it, somebody. You feel me? And if you guys got questions, feel free to inbox me during the week. Can't show you the socks, man. Can't show you the socks. But again, go on Instagram and it's going to be in the description. It's going to be hot. You feel me? Shout out to Joshua. Shout out to Mr. Bell. I see you guys.